Welcome to Jacket Talk Overtime on LEB TV. It's brought to you in part by Mid-Missouri Bank, also by Ginger's Wellness, by Mercy, and also by Jacket Nation Sports. Coach Will Christian will be with us on our show today, recapping the football victory at Ozark this past Friday night as the Jackets get set to go to Kickapoo for another COC game this Friday. It's Jacket Talk Overtime on LEB TV.
How much has your bank paid you? We've paid our Kasasa account holders more than $7 million since 2017. Open an account in minutes to get in on the earnings today.
It's Jacket Talk Overtime from BuzzCuts. Lunch provided today by Mel's. Coach Will Christian joins us as Lebanon gets ready for a COC matchup at Springfield Kickapoo this Friday. Off a good 42-21 victory at Ozark this past Friday night. Coach, solid effort all the way around. Just did it offensively, defensively, and certainly won the kicking game against Ozark.
Really proud of our kids. Number one, I thought we were extremely physical. I thought our kids played with tremendous effort, which really has been a repetitive theme throughout the course of this whole season. We definitely took some steps in the right direction in the realm of special teams. We're at the point in the year where we've inserted some more of our veteran players on some of those, which we normally do to an extent. Obviously, there's some concern with just the normal fatigue that can come in with when kids are on the field a lot. And so that's always a concern. But we're at the point in time right now where we had to get some things fixed. And I definitely think that some of those veteran guys did that on Friday night. And so we're just excited. We're excited to continue to travel down this road of being 1-0, Kevin. We're really dialed in and focused in on us and getting better and playing our best football when it matters the most.
Kicking game touchdown, defensive touchdown. You combine those two in a single game, that's going to really swing the odds in your favor, isn't it?
Well, I mean, your chances of winning are almost 80% when you do that. So certainly that was a huge factor in the game. But I will say this, our offense was playing very well. I thought our defense was playing very well, too. So I think some of those possessions we very highly likely would have drove the football and had success. I believe that. But definitely those quick strikes are things that just absolutely seize momentum and make it very difficult on an opponent. And certainly that was the case. And we talked about, and I know you talked about in your show on Friday, that turnover differential has got to get in our favor. I think you mentioned in the show that we were -6 at one point. And so we've got to flip that as we move on. That's something that has to get flipped on our side, and we're working really hard to do that.
Mm-hmm. You were able to play with a lead on Friday night, and that kind of opened the offensive playbook a little bit, didn't it?
It did. We opted to defer. However, we did not win the toss, and so we had the opening possession. So when you have that, it's really important that you have success right out of the gate, and we did that. We've done that really throughout the season, even against Anixa. We had success with that opening possession. So that gives us momentum, and then you got to keep it. And honestly, Kevin, as obviously you witnessed, we kind of let it slip again in this last game with, getting bit by the turnover bug just a little bit there and then giving up, a long touchdown pass. And so, but we were able to overcome after that turnover by getting a huge stop. And then we just kind of mounted from there. And I thought we were really dominant in the ball game and really, really physical. And Kevin, the reality is that especially Ozark's defense, they're big, they're physical, and they start 10 seniors on that defense. And so what the success we were able to have was impressive. And I just was super proud of our kids. And defensively, I think we're really doing a good job right now, and playing with tremendous effort. I thought Avery Starnes had just a tremendous ball game, and was just really really effective for us at taking away some of the things that they wanted to do on the perimeter, which was really a big strength for them. And so, very pleased with our football team, and we still got a lot of work to do, Kevin. As you know, you've been around us a long time, so I don't really have to tell you, but we still got a lot of work to do. We have not reached that phase where I feel like we're playing our best yet, but we're getting closer. And one of our slogans right now or whatever is that the locomotive's on the tracks. And so the horn is tooting, the steam is flowing, the coals are getting really hot right now, and so we just got to get that thing trucking down the tracks.
Well, and you got it out of the depot after the loss to Nixa, so that had to be gratifying to see the way the team responded.
No doubt, and I knew we would respond the right way. I mean, mentally it's a battle. I mean, we were a 1-4 football team for the first time since '05. So there's some mental stuff that you got to deal with. There's a lot of negativity you got to deal with. There's just a lot that you have to process through. But I'm really proud of the mental toughness of our team for being able to push through that, to be able to stay focused on what we're trying to accomplish together. And that showed Friday against a solid Ozark team, a 3-2 Ozark team that had won 2 in a row. It was their homecoming. We had a lot of obstacles to overcome Friday. It was a big win for our program.
First drive, you take it down the field, Jax Glendenning into the end zone for the touchdown. Then you go for 2. What was the mindset behind that?
Yeah, I wanted to apply pressure. And so, with that, and there's been some other times that we've done that before, I really am assessing how we're moving the football against our opponent. And early, we're fresh. And they weren't having much success at that point stopping us for 3. And so I want to put pressure on our opponent, and that's really all it's centered around. Yeah, it's a gamble, and it's one of those things that, you potentially get yourself behind the 8 ball, and you might be chasing points later. But it's a gamble that I wanted to wage, and with the way that our offense was moving the football, I felt that the percentage that we could get that was big. And it kept momentum for us because even when they scored, they kicked, we're still up. And then, of course, then they're chasing that point. Up until the point that we were unsuccessful on a kick, we owned that and kept them in a spot where they were going to have to go for 2 at some point.
Mm-hmm. 65 plays on offense for Lebanon compared to 50 for Ozark, 433 yardage offensively, and had a 24-11 margin in the first down. So control the football, and again, that's credit to the offensive line and what that unit accomplishes. Kason Woods, the Missouri Cooperage player of the game for Ozark. So talk about him and the season he's had and the game he had on Friday night.
Yeah, Kason, our starting right tackle, he's a veteran, and he's really having a great senior year. He's not the heaviest guy, but he's really tough and physical. And athletic and gets after it, and he's a good leader. I thought our offensive line as a whole, Kevin, had our best game against a solid Ozark defense. I mean, I'm just telling everyone that Ozark's defense, the general fan might look at 42, and if they were at the game, we should have scored more. But that's a good defense that we played Friday night. They've got some college football players on there, and they're a good defense, and it all starts up front. And our offensive line, no doubt, had our best performance.
6 out of 9 also on third down conversions. So that's the money down, and you kept the football 2/3 of the time when that arrived.
No question. Third down is pivotal. I mean, first down's most pivotal to make third down accomplishable. But you got to convert on third down, and I thought our guys did a great job of that. And I thought that our quarterback play was really good. Beckett York is growing before our eyes every week. And he had to execute some of those, and he did.
Mm-hmm. And threw the football effectively, especially on that one drive there in the first half.
Absolutely. Like I said, I mean, he's growing before our eyes. He's got a lot of moxie, and a lot of that has to do with great senior leadership around him. The seniors have done a tremendous job of providing him an environment where he is allowed to make a mistake and not, it be the end of the world. And so I credit our seniors for really doing a great job of providing that culture where he can get better.
Fullback dive's been working. Rocket toss has been working. The counterplay is working better, it seems now, Coach, as the games go by.
Yeah, I think we're executing that better. All those plays you just mentioned are sort of in the crock pot. I mean, I think we're progressing. And I so much can't wait to see when we put it all together with all aspects of the blocking of it. If you break it down on film right now, not all 11 players yet are executing, but we're getting closer. And when we do get that, I think it's going to be really good. And obviously, when 36 is doing what he's doing, all the other parts are going to be fruitful once we execute it. And we're getting very close.
Coach, we don't talk about him enough. I mean, we talk about him a bunch, but probably not enough. The type of season he's having, almost 300 yards again on Friday night, over 1,200 on the season. So, and he's a marked man for the other team's defense, but he just keeps producing.
I mean, when you think about MVP in the COC, I know that obviously the Nixie Eagles are going to have a lot of stake in probably that award because it's often a team award. But I can guarantee you that there's no more bigger MVP than Jax Glendenny. I mean, what he has done and how he's produced has been remarkable. And while a lot of parts around him are developing, because we've got a lot of, other than Abe Allen, who's a veteran, who's played well, but we were without Abe for a minute. So we had even more youth. Those other guys are really starting to figure it out, and we're getting really close. And Jax has kind of had to carry the mail, and has done a great job.
Is he over there on the sideline on Friday nights now, tapping Coach Allen on the shoulder and you on the shoulder saying, Coach, put me in, I want to play some more defense?
Well, I mean, he wants to play, but he also understands the big picture. And he understands, what we're trying to do right now with him and the fact that, coming off that hamstring, we want him to be 100% healthy. And we also really value what he is able to do with the football when that gas tank is not zapped. And so, there's a point in time where, if we need him on D, we're going to have to use him, especially when it comes district time and the season, finality. We don't want to be a reality, right? But for this point in time right now and where we're at, Jax is that guy that, can be in the holster, that we can bring out and fire if we need it. But right now, I feel really good about the way our defense is playing. And it's being led by some other guys, as I mentioned, Avery and Abe, who are leading us in the right direction. Nick Allen is having an outstanding year, and Mason Hendricks. So we've got senior leaders on that defensive side of the football that are getting it done, Kevin. And I think that, we're a good football team right now with the potential of being a great team. And that's with Jack's not on defense as well. And so, and just imagine fresh Jax, what that does to an opposing defense.
Score is 22-7 at halftime. Ozark has the football coming out of the locker room to the third quarter, and you get a turnover on the kicking game. Braden Christian returns that for a touchdown. Maybe the biggest play of the ball game right there to stem momentum for them and really put you in the driver's seat in that game.
You're right. I mean, the game is 22-7. And we've seen what happens when a team is able to take that opening drive and score. That's one of the reasons why that we defer most often, is because we want that possession. A lot of times you can potentially seize a possession at the end of the first half to get points, which we were close to doing. And then you have, if you deferred, you've got that opening one. But obviously, when the other team has it, you want to get a stop right there, and when you're able to do it on the special teams for points, wow. And that number one, I mentioned Avery again. Avery was the guy that got the strip on that. Did a great job of getting in there and creating that turnover, and then Braden Christian's hustle down the field put him in the right place to be where that ball popped up and And it was kind of like a delivery from Domino's.
Yep.
I don't know if I can use other people's food on here, can I? There's probably contractual stuff with that, but whatever delivery you would service, you would want to call. And Braden did a good job of being able to have hands to secure it and score. And hey, that was a huge play, no doubt.
Well, and another one, Braden LaMontagne, a scoop and score there in their red zone. So a touchdown for the defense, too, to really put icing on the cake.
No doubt, and the quarterback got hammered on that. I mean, kudos to him for getting up. That was quite a hit, and there was some debate. There was a flag on that, as you know, as his helmet came off, and so there was some debate, if there was some helmet to helmet, but when they got together and they made the right call, they discussed it. It just was simply that was how hard he got hit, and so, but just good team defense right there, and really proud of our defense.
Mm-hmm. Coach, Saturday, the Jacket football team experienced a tragic loss. Rudy Zavalos passed away, senior member of your football team. The whole community is stunned. The whole community is rallying behind the football team. Just a word or two about Rudy, his life, and what he meant.
Yeah, I mean, that's the hardest thing in the world. It's hard to even wrap words around. I've struggled to have the right words really from start to finish. There's nothing more catastrophic than when a young person passes away. Lots of questions as to why. You know where my faith is, and without question, I trust in God's plan, and I know He's got a great one. It's very hard to soak up and understand. But Rudy, number one, it's been very well noted that the personality and charisma that he had. It's been well noted, obviously, just the fight that he has in him. He was going to be a Marine. And he ran that race with a goal of making it under 2 hours, and he accomplished that. I'm not surprised in any way. Just showing his toughness and mental fortitude, because a half marathon that's no walk in the park. That's a very challenging thing. So it just shows his toughness. Our team is hurting. But they're rallying around one another, and also they're wanting to represent Rudy. That's going to be something that's going to be big for us as we move forward. We want to represent him and how we respond with our toughness, with our resilience, and understanding that one of Rudy's mottos was "me versus me," and that's kind of where we're at right now. We got to be tough, and it's not easy to do, especially in the healing stages. But we got to be tough. We got to stand up for our community and be tough. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to honor him in a lot of different ways, Kevin, which you'll see at the ball game and after the ball game, and love him forever. And it's unbelievable. So again, it's hard to wrap words around, but we're going to stay together on this, and we're going to make sure that Rudy's legacy lives.
Funeral service for Rudy Zavalos will be Monday at 1 o'clock at Shadles Colonial Chapel. Visitation will be at 11 a.m. And you had a balloon release at school on his behalf earlier this week. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, that was. I believe that the senior kids wanted to do that, and hard. When you see a lot of young people hurting, it's in this business. There's nothing more difficult than what we're going through right now as an educator. And I'll tell you something else that was the most difficult thing in the world for me. I don't know if I did anything more difficult. We gave his mom his white jersey at that event, and just looking in her eyes, handing her that, giving her that hug. It's a whole lot bigger than football, Kevin, and very challenging. My mama's heart in that situation. So, But what we can do for her is love her, and then what we can do for her is make sure that we represent him the right way as we move forward, and that's what we're going to do.
Springfield Kickapoo at Pottinger Stadium on Friday night. Central Ozark Conference football. Chiefs are going to be a difficult opponent. They're always talented, well coached under Nate Thomas. So another formidable challenge in the league coming up this Friday night.
Yeah, there is no bye games in this schedule. Kickapoo is what you said, to a T. You know, what we got to really do is we've got to make sure that we're dialed in on us, and we got to continue to progress. We got to fix things. Constantly there's things to fix. I'm really proud of our coaching staff and kids for constantly being reflective and working on and addressing these things. And we just got to keep doing that. We got to continue for that curve to go this way, and I know it will. And despite the fact that we've had yet more adversity and we're hurting, I can promise you that we will slap the blue war paint on, and we will fight Friday night. There's no doubt about it.
What type of challenge does Kickapoo present offensively and defensively?
So offensively, they are similar to what they've been, Kevin. They are a spread team. They're pretty multiple in what they want to do in it. They have a vertical challenge for us that they can attack vertical with Christian, number 4. They also have a very solid running game. When number 14 went down at quarterback and number 13 came in, they became more of a dual threat situation with the quarterback run game. So we have to honor that. We've got to do a good job with that. He does run the football well. They run multiple running backs, but 20 is their primary guy, and he's good. You've got to do a good job of being sound. We have to fit our gaps. We've got to make sure we set the edge. They will run a lot of screens. They do a lot of stuff, too. They'll run a lot of formations. They'll shift. They'll motion. So we've got to do a good job of making sure we deal with all that. The good news is that Nixa did some of that stuff, so we've had some time to prepare for that, and I feel good about things. Honestly, offensively for our fan base, really very similar to Ozark as far as kind of the general approach, and so that also helps that we're coming off of a week where we defended an opponent with that they're not the same, but a lot of the similar concepts. Defensively, they're a physical team. We feel like we're going to see a lot of fronts. We always do. Odd, even. I think they're even going to pile it in some. They showed some stuff where it's almost a 50. And so we've got, I feel like, an excellent plan to attack all that stuff. And so we're just going to see what they get in and attack. Ultimately, it comes down to us executing, us being really, really physical at the point of contact. And I think our kids will come to that and meet that challenge.
Last Monday through Thursday, did the work that the team put in, did that lead to what we saw on Friday, a good week of practice into a good performance?
Yeah, I think our kids have practiced hard all year, Kevin. I really believe that. I know despite, obviously the start, our kids have practiced hard. They've been real intentional. I feel like their attitude has been really good. They want to win. And I think everybody should see that by their effort every Friday. And so we're just getting closer every single week. We get a little closer, and I can't wait to see where this thing unfolds. And I think people will see, a team that will take more steps Friday night on the road at Kickapoo, and again, despite adversity. That's the other thing too, is this football team is going to be as battle tested with adversity as you can imagine, and I believe in us, and we're a tough out right now, and I wouldn't want to play us, and I don't mean that to sound arrogant. I know that probably did, but oh well. We're a team that's coming, and I'm super pumped and proud of our kids, and so we'll have a great work week this week and come out and give all we got against Kickapoo.
3 weeks to go before district time. It's amazing, isn't it?
Oh, football flies faster than anything else. It's absolutely amazing. It's a blink. That's something that every year breaks my heart because I never want to see a senior class go. But it blinks by. I tell parents, I tell kids, don't take anything for granted. That doesn't always happen, because when you're in the moment, you do take things for granted. But my goodness, it's a blink.
Good job at Ozark. We'll see you at Springfield on Friday, Coach. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thanks.
Coach Will Christian joining us on Jacket Talk Overtime. Back in just a moment.
My name is Jaysha Connor, owner and nurse practitioner here at Ginger Wellness. I believe that sometimes healthcare does too much, and I believe that's where wellness centers can really bridge that gap and really give people some confidence in natural ways, healthier ways, to really improve quality of life and to get healthy.
We want to feel better and live better lives. It's not about quantity, it's a lot about quality of your life.
Ginger Wellness is where I went to get my quality of life back.
We are back on Jacket Talk Overtime here on LEB TV from BuzzCuts in downtown Lebanon. Lunch is provided by Mel's. Congratulations to Olivia Magruder of Lebanon Tennis. She is the Yellow Jacket Athlete of the Week. We got a couple of footballers here with us on our show today. We've got Avery Starnes and Abe Allen from Lebanon Football as the Jackets are at Kickapoo. 7 o'clock kickoff on Jacket Nation Sports this Friday night. Abe, coming back from the injury at Joplin, you made a quick recovery. Talk about what was involved in the rehab and getting back on the field.
Yeah, I mean, it was a hard recovery. I couldn't really walk that first day, but I got in with some physical therapists that massaged my hamstring. They recommended me come back in 4 weeks, but I was able to recover a little bit faster because I'm an athlete and come back in 2, so that was great.
How's it feeling now? You getting close to 100%?
It is 100%. I'm good now. I'm running fast and playing hard.
Are you doing more stretching than normal now for preventative purposes?
Yeah, I've definitely started stretching like 10 times the amount I was before, taking it a lot more serious, making sure I don't re-tear it.
What did you try to do during your off weeks to help the football team?
I was there every practice. I mean, I was out there with the DB group, helping them know what they're doing, helping the Evan Ogle, who was a safety at the beginning of the year, transition to corner, help him learn how to get inside the wide receiver's hip to make a good play.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel the team is trending football-wise going into the Kickapoo game?
I think we're on fire. I mean, we're coming off a good win against a good Ozark team. That, the team was good, and we beat them pretty bad. I mean, it was a good win.
Where did football start for you? Take us back to your elementary days.
Oh, I've been in a football family ever since I was born. My uncle's Curtis. He's defensive coordinator for us. My dad, he played football. My grandpa played football. We're just a football family. The moment I was born, I was brought into football.
What do you prefer, offense or defense?
I love running the ball. I love getting to run somebody over. But I also love on defense getting to hit somebody. So I'd have to say offense.
Avery, a good performance by you at Ozark on Friday night. 3 tackles for loss, 5 tackles in the football game. You're playing just about every snap.
Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed playing against Ozark. I really don't know what got into me or what just clicked, but I could read the offense really well and just knew where the ball was going almost every time. And that hit on the quarterback that I made just made my day, just watching his helmet come off. But whenever that flag came, and I got a little scared. I thought I was going to be leaving the game.
Right. Well, how do you feel about the football team coming into week number 7, going to Kickapoo and facing the Chiefs?
I feel pretty good. We're coming off the win. I think our team's looking the best it's has all year. The offense is moving the ball really well, and the defense is just playing their butts off, tackling, and everybody comes to the ball. But I think our Kickapoo will be a good game, but I feel like it should be about the same score Ozark was.
Coach indicated that Kickapoo offensively, some similarities to Nixa. Have you noticed that on film?
No, I haven't, but honestly haven't watched very much film yet, but as we get closer to, I will.
Mm-hmm. Well, you haven't run the football a whole lot this year, but you've been effective when you've been on offense.
Yeah, I used to like offense quite a bit. I didn't really know how I'd feel about being a defense-only type of guy, but I really enjoy it, especially after the Ozark game.
As a senior, what's it like now when you can kind of see the end in sight? Hopefully not until the end of November,
yeah.
but it's coming up. What does that feel like?
you know, you think about it, it's kind of sad, but we still have quite a few games left, and hopefully our team can just rally and play some really good football down the road, and we can make it a long ways.
Now, you're a multi-sport athlete. You wrestle, and you're also a bass fisherman also.
Yeah. Wrestling, I've been wrestling since I think I was 4, and fishing really as soon as I was born. Dad's got pictures of me whenever I was like 2 fishing. So,
Abe, what else do you like to be involved in?
I kind of do some CrossFit with my family, just trying to get jacked. Football.
What's plans for you after high school?
I think I'm going to try to get as jacked as possible and just look as good as I can.
Going to go to college?
Yeah, I'm going to go to Missouri State.
Have you mapped out a major yet for a career path?
Yeah, I think I'm going to follow my dad's footsteps and go into accounting.
Awesome. Avery, how about you?
I'm not going to college, but I'm going to go down to the fort and get a paid apprenticeship for HVAC and then do some rental properties stuff.
Gotcha. Very good. Well, guys, great season so far. Enjoyed watching you on Friday nights, and look forward to this week at Kickapoo. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's Avery Starnes and Abe Allen joining us on Jacket Talk Overtime on LEB TV, brought to you by Mid-Missouri Bank, by Ginger's Wellness, by Mercy, and by Jacket Nation Sports. It's Lebanon at Kickapoo Friday night, 7 o'clock, right here.
You shouldn't have to give up the hometown bank experience to enjoy modern convenience. Just check our Google reviews about our in-person, online, and mobile banking experiences. Open an account in minutes today.
All right, guys, we're back. It's Jacket Talk Overtime, and we're in week 2 of this new feature where we're going to bring in some of the student athletes, chat with you guys, talk about things maybe other than sports. I know you guys have had a week. We'll get into that. Thinking about you all, and I just want to sit down. I know Kevin introduced you guys and let everyone know who you are, but again, you just want to go ahead and say your names.
I'm Avery Starnes.
Abe Allen.
Okay, guys, this is only going to work if you agree to speak. Like we're not texting here, so like you can talk, and we're gonna make fun of Abe a little bit because that mustache.
Hey, my mustache looks good. Ask the ladies.
All right, fair enough. We will let us know in the comments if you think the mustache looks good. Avery, multi-sport athlete. I know you talked to Kevin a little bit about that.
Yeah.
You didn't say which one's your favorite.
Been doing both sports since like I was real little, and bass fishing is just a little bit easier on your body too. You ain't got practice every week and actually enjoy it
I gotcha.
a lot more.
Abe, now you mentioned previously that you've got some plans for after school. It involves CrossFit. Huge thing in your family, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to go and try to get as good as it is possible.
Travel, I know you've got a family member travels around the country doing CrossFit, and your mom as well, but dad's here in town, right?
Yeah. Josh, yeah, he made it to the CrossFit Games last year, and they did pretty good. They got 10th place.
Gotcha. So you got some mentors there and some things. What about that is so fun to you? What got you into that?
I think the way your body looks after, like, you go and look at those CrossFit guys that are high up in the level, they all have six packs, they all have defined chests, you know, their arms are massive, their whole body's symmetrical. It's not like bodybuilding where you only look good at one part of the year. You look good year round.
Gotcha. So how often are you doing that right now, or how is that help hurt your injury? I know we talked about that with Kevin.
I don't do CrossFit during the football season because I don't want to wear down my body. It is hard on your body, but I just let football wear down my body at this time.
Gotcha. So Avery, you mentioned bass fishing, one of your favorites. You wrestle. What does Avery Starnes do on his downtime? Doesn't sound like you have much.
I really don't, but whenever I do, I go home and eat dinner, and sometimes I'll go out and shoot my bow and just kind of talk to my mom and just enjoy the family time that I get.
Gotcha. And you mentioned HVAC, and you want to do some sort of apprenticeship type thing. Tell us a little bit about that.
So my uncle works down at the fort a little bit, and he knows a guy down there, and he was talking to him about it. And he said that I could get a paid apprenticeship, and I could get paid while I'm learning how to do HVAC. And so that sounds pretty good because I don't have to go to college or anything like that. And I don't really like school as it is, but
All right. So you're not hanging out with family. You're not bass fishing. You're not wrestling, right? What else does Avery Starnes like to do?
I'm a big poker player. Well, I used to be, and I always like hanging out with my friends. And on Sundays, and we always get together and watch football, the NFL. Go Chiefs!
The Chiefs.
And Bodie O'Neill, big Lions fan. Always root against them.
Big Lions fan
yeah.
in Missouri.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's weird. I always give him crap about it. But yeah, we always play poker, and we'll just go. Sometimes we'll go to Springfield, me and over the summer, and we just like going out and shooting them.
Skeet shooting, things like that.
Just shooting targets, yeah.
Target shooting. Cool. One thing I think that, and I know from experience because I played football, but I want to dive into what you guys would say to maybe athletes out there that want to play football or haven't played football, or you guys maybe think should. Tell them something that they don't know about football and something you guys have went through, and just make your pitch to somebody who's on the fence about playing football. Avery?
Yeah, if somebody's ever wanting to play but they don't know if they should or not, I always just tell them to come out and play. And if they don't like it, they don't like it. But most of the time they'll like it. Just being around all your buddies, and they realize that it's not just about football too. Whenever we're in the locker room, Coach C talks about life and all that. It's not just surrounded about football, and it kind of teaches you about life too. And just the being around your friends part's always fun.
Abe?
Like Avery said, the brotherhood of football is something you can't recreate. There's no other sport like it. You got 50 dudes that all are tackling and sweating each other. You create friendships that will last a lifetime in football, and that's really the most important thing.
What, give me one key memory. Obviously, we're getting towards the end of the senior season. We all hope it doesn't end, but we know it's going to end at some point. Have you thought about that? And if you had to right now, if you had to write a story or tell one key football, friend, athletics-related memory, let's hear it.
Take you back to our team camp. I mean, we're spending 7 hours playing football, then we get it back into the dorms, and everybody all comes down to the basement, and we all play loud music and have a good time.
Right. So just the friendships, the camaraderie, the team, that sort of thing. Avery, give us some memory.
The Ozark game was one of the funnest games I've ever played, and I think I'll remember that my entire life. Just everybody was having fun, laughing, and just playing their butts off as hard as they could.
Right. Made a key play in that game. There's a picture floating around of you basically removing another player's helmet with your body. So
that was that's definitely my favorite hit of all time. The picture's awesome out of it. That kid's helmet's there, and his face is all pushed into his shoulder and stuff. But I did get a little scared. The refs threw that flag, and I thought I was going to get kicked out for targeting, but thank goodness the refs were good and got the right call.
Yeah, Coach mentioned that. It's got to be something. Those are kind of the moments you live for. Mm-hmm. Abe, any football specific memory or that you can remember on the football field?
Last year during West Plains, I rushed for like 150 yards, and that was a moment you can't recreate with that amount of yards.
Right. What was it like sitting out a few games? How was it? How was that? I know Kevin talked a little bit about it, but personally, what was that like to watch your brothers on the field and not get to be out there and participate?
Oh, that was awful. I mean, watching them be out there against Willard and not being able to help at all whenever things started to go downhill was something I'd never want to go through again.
But you came back. You missed – how many weeks you missed?
Missed 2 weeks.
You missed 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So you came back, and I know had a great game last week. Avery, you had a couple – you forced a fumble, right? And did you recover a fumble last week?
No, I forced 2 fumbles.
Forced 2 fumbles, I'm sorry.
From those 2 fumbles, we scored both times.
Awesome.
Braden Christian took it up on the kickoff, and Braden LaMontagne scored on the quarterback hit.
Gotcha. So tell me something about you guys not football related. Something maybe that you know about Abe and Abe knows about you, but a lot of folks don't know.
On the camera, it might look that Abe's somewhat kind of tall. He's a little shorter, but he is jacked, and he can hit really hard. But Abe's also fun to be around and helps me in classes, too, whenever I'm struggling and I need to look off somebody's shoulder, see what the answer is.
Look off or over?
Over.
Oh.
Look over his shoulder.
We'll edit that part out.
All right.
Abe?
Avery's, he may not seem like it, but he's really good at math. There's just something weird about him. Not good at any other classes, but he got math under him.
Not good at any other classes.
Nope.
And you want to follow your dad's footsteps into accounting, right? So
Yeah.
what are we going to do? Because I'm pretty sure that's a lot of math.
I'm good at math, you know.
Oh, okay. So Avery's good. You're good too.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Gotcha, guys. I know it's been a tough week, and before we sat down to record, I kind of mentioned, anything you want to share about what you guys have went through the last week, or memories, or anything? I know it's probably not easy to talk about it, but I know you guys you and Rudy were close, right?
Yeah, me and Junior were friends as soon as he came to middle school. He's one of the best people I've ever known. If you ever needed to talk to somebody, he was the person you came to. And Junior was one of the people that I always hung out with, one of the friends that would always come over and watch football or something. And me and Fidel and Junior, we'd always sit down sometimes and just talk about life. And whenever I got the news, I was reffing Mighty Might, and my dad came up to me and told me that Junior's unconscious right now and isn't responding to CPR. That's when I knew something wasn't up, but I still had some hope that he was going to pull through. But on the way up there, we called Junior's mom and found out that he had passed away. And from then on, it's been extremely hard. I'm glad for all the friends that I have, all the people that's out there that's caring and cares for me, my friends, and Junior's family. But it's difficult knowing that you'll never see him again until you go up to heaven with him.
Gotcha. Well, I can't imagine what you guys were going through and what continue to go through. I appreciate you sharing a little bit about it. I know it's got to be tough. Abe, anything you want to share?
I mean, Rudy was a great guy. I mean, he had a smile on his face every day. You go through 7 brew, you get your drink, he'd give it to you with a smile on his face. He lived every day happy, and I want to try to recreate that, just living like Rudy.
Well, I know we're partway through the season. You guys have faced some adversity. Coach mentioned it, but things are looking good. What do you guys how you feeling going into the final stretch?
I'm feeling pretty good. Our team's looking really good. The offense is moving the ball really well, and the defense is just flying around hitting people.
Yeah, you get the defense. I think it's maybe not talked about enough, but the defense. I know Neosho, if I remember right, and these numbers may be a little bit wrong, but Neosho was scoring 45 points a game, I think.
Something like that.
And you guys held them to really 21. I think it ended up being 28, but there was a little bit there at the end. But you guys have constantly showed up, and I think the fans see it. I know I see it from up top and kind of see it. So it's good to see you guys kind of rally around, not giving up. Those front four, man,
Yeah.
they're workhorses down there. They open it up for you guys both at linebacker, right?
I'm a corner.
Oh, corner.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
But Avery, linebacker.
Yeah, our D-line's insane. They may not be the biggest, but they're one of the hardest players I've met. Nick Allen is big. Nick Allen's huge. And then we got Mason Jones and Mason Hendricks. Mason Jones is really good at stopping the run, filling the gaps, but Mason Hendricks he's got a motor on him. He don't quit. Neither does Nick Allen.
And tell me a little bit about being on an island out there as a cornerback.
Yeah, they like to throw me out there with the best wide receiver and just tell me to man up on him.
Right.
I just got to step up and do it. I mean, no other option.
Well, I think you guys are improving. Already a solid defense, but it's clear that, last week, great game plan, turnovers. Those have been huge for you guys. Anything you want to share before we're done? You guys are group number 2 doing this, so we don't really know what this is going to entail, but we're excited to kind of get something different and showcase you guys in a different light. But anything you want to share?
I will say that the Kickapoo game, everybody should be watching. That's going to be a game to remember. We're all going to be out there for Junior, playing our butts off for Junior. Every hit's going to be for Junior. Anything we do is going to be for Junior.
Gotcha. Abe?
We're going to win out the rest of the season. Nobody's going to be able to beat us.
I like the confidence. I'm excited. Kickapoo is going to be fun. Then we got homecoming next week. Glendale comes to town, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, we're not looking ahead. We're going to focus on this week. 1-0 mentality, right?
Yep.
Well, guys, I appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing you guys out there on the field Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we can't not thank our parents.
Oh, yeah. I want to say shout out to my dad. He's back here cutting hair.
Yeah,
For-
cleaning somebody up.
Yeah, for making me do football and making me do wrestling and all that. And my mom. I love my mom. She's always out there supporting me no matter where it's at. It could be in Alaska, and she'd be there. Both my parents would be there. I just want to say thank you to them.
Gotcha. Abe?
Yeah, thank you to my parents coming to every game and loving and supporting me. Love you, Mom. Love you, Dad.
Awesome. Well, this has been fun, guys. See you on Friday night. Go Jackets. You're supposed to say go Jackets.
Go Jackets.
Go Jackets.
He will run out of the pistol, take the snap, and lob one on the side, and it's intercepted for a pick six by Cannon Roar.
Takes the handoff, looking for Roark deep, and it is caught by in the end zone.
Alex, it's always hot weather in August, but high school football season is here, and the Lebanon Yellow Jackets now in the Central Ozark Conference.
Say goodbye to some key seniors, so next man up mentality as always for Will Christian. The Yellow Jackets should be interesting to see how they fill those voids on both the offensive and defensive side of football.